Hello. Welcome to day 3 of the 7-day journey. My name is Denise Silva. I am a certified spiritual trauma and transformational coach. I am delighted that you are here. I hope that day 2 spoke to you in the areas of anguish, the areas even of impatientness, in wanting God to instantly answer a prayer or come up with a beautiful, awesome miracle. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, having that faith and that hope that He can do something in the midst of the chaos is amazing, but also in the waiting and also in what He's trying to teach you in those moments matter more, because there's growth, there's healing, and we get to trust Him even more. But let's start with day 3, and today's chapter is Out of the Comfort Zone, Leaving the Familiar for the Lord's Guidance. And we'll start with a testimony. After being cooped up for several weeks and following the same routine repeatedly, I realized it was not healthy or helping me feel any better. I would wake up, drop off my son at school, stay home, pick him up, take a nap, cook, and spend time with him until it was his bedtime. I, however, stayed up late and scrolled through social media to distract myself from all the burdens. And once I was mentally exhausted, I would finally go to bed. Then, the next day, it would start all over again. Looking back now, it definitely was not doing me any justice. If anything, my choice of actions only increased my anxiety and stress. Don't get me wrong, the idea of going out for a walk would always be in the back of my mind. Every time I dropped off my son at school and turned back home, the fresh smell of the morning breeze, the light blue sky, the cotton-like clouds, the leaves on the trees swaying back and forth while the birds sang, it all reminded me of my carefree late teen years. There was a time when my family and I enjoyed going on hikes early in the mornings, and I loved it. But no matter how encouraged I felt in those moments to at least take a 10-minute walk to a nearby park, I ended up staying home instead. The comfort of being curled up in bed and the warmth of the safe bubble I created at home was more tempting than stepping out into the unknown world. Instead of feeling apathetic, I shortly came across an interesting prayer challenge on social media. When I read through the activities on how to participate, to my surprise, one of the steps was to go on a 15-minute walk while talking to God. Since I already had the desire to change my routine, it felt like a great opportunity to enjoy a calm evening stroll with my son. And on that evening, I gathered the little encouragement I had and began the walk. Now for the biblical reflection. A quick side note, before the Israelites ever set foot on their journey, God made His intentions clear. He told Moses in Exodus 3 verse 8, "So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey." We now know the Israelites reached Shur safely, unharmed from Pharaoh and his army, all because God made the impossible possible. But their journey didn't end there. Obedience and belief became critical, especially for Moses, who had to lead the people out of Egypt by following God's exact instructions. Once they stepped into Shur, the land they entered right after crossing the Red Sea, their journey toward the Promised Land truly began. It was a promised land not just for them, but for their children and generations still to come. Think about it. The Israelites had witnessed an ordinary man like Moses stand before the most powerful ruler in Egypt and boldly obey God's commands. They saw Egypt shaken by the 10 plagues. They saw the Red Sea split open, and they walked through on dry ground while Pharaoh's mighty army was swallowed up behind them. Yet, even after seeing God's hand move in undeniable ways, their joy quickly faded. Gratitude turned into grumbling. Why? Because entering the Promised Land came with unexpected challenges. God wasn't being cruel, He was being kind. He was preparing their hearts for what was ahead. After 400 years of living under Egypt's influence, the Israelites had picked up habits, beliefs, mindsets that didn't belong to them. They were free on the outside, but still bound on the inside. God wanted to cleanse them from the lies they had heard in bondage so they could walk freely and fully in His truth. Now for the spiritual takeaway. Crossing over is just the beginning. God doesn't just want to bring you out of your old life, He wants to prepare you for the new one. If it feels like the pressure increased after your breakthrough, you're not failing, you're being formed. Transition often begins after the miracle, and that's where stepping out of comfort and into discomfort comes in. It's not meant to make us feel bad, it's meant to increase us and help us. In the wilderness and through the wilderness, if you find yourself in that season, remember this: the wilderness was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to rebuild you. What you may feel as delay or resistance could actually be God's mercy, giving you space to heal, unlearn what needs to be let go of, relearn what is true, and grow into a person who can carry the promise without it crushing you. You're not going backward, you're being made ready. And the verses for today are Exodus chapter 3 verse 8, Psalm 147 verse 3, Jeremiah 17 verse 10, and Psalm 139 verse 23 and 24. And the questions for today are: has your routine truly brought peace, or has it only helped you hide pain beneath the surface? Question 2, how do you view uncomfortable challenges? As setbacks or as opportunities God may be using to strengthen you? And question 3, what have you had to unlearn in order to relearn God's truth? And how did that shift change the way you see life now? In the closing prayer, dear Lord, thank you for the gentle ways you remind me to step outside of my comfort zone and into the life you have for me. Thank you for the beauty of your creation, the morning breeze, the singing birds, and the colors in the sky that whisper of your presence and goodness. Forgive me for the days I have chosen comfort over connection, and for the times I have allowed fear, apathy, or routine to keep me from moving forward. Help me, Lord, to see each moment as an opportunity to walk with you, whether it's a short stroll or a long journey of faith. Teach me to hear your voice in the stillness and in the motion. Fill me with the courage to take even small steps when I feel stuck, trusting that you will meet me along the way. May every step I take draw me closer to your heart. In Jesus' mighty name I pray, amen. The wilderness was meant to rebuild us. That is amazing. And yes, I can testify that that is truly true. And it's a journey that I can now be thankful and can see how important it was in my life. And I pray that it is in yours as well. I'll see you guys in the next video for day 4. Bye.